Zero. Welcome to the smoke room. This is episode 6, and I got Oshujax, aka Josh, whatever he wants to call himself. He is here. Introduce yourself.
No, you're not. I'm not here. This is all Smokey, ladies and gentlemen. It's all him. All him. I don't exist.
Conspiracy. That's a conspiracy because he actually is here. See. But anyway.
Conspiracy. I'm guessing we're also being joined by little Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Well, wherever he's at.
Jimmy's around here, man. He be telling me that you be acting bad lately, man.
And you gonna talk about your little, you gonna talk about you little Jimmy. The hell are you? The Alabama version of R-Truth? I didn't know he turned into a hick. Hello? I didn't know he was a country boy like us now.
Oh, if R-Truth was a country boy like us, he'd be more ghetto. Trust me.
Oh, man, that's probably true.
But yeah. Oh, okay. We're gonna get this started off, man. But first question to you, I want to ask you, what was your main idea behind the idea of Oshujax? Cause the name, people kind of wonder about your name, Oshujax, and what made you create him that way?
Well, I mean, a couple people have already figured it out, and I've told a couple people straight up. I took the name Oshujax from an idea I saw in a video game, because I'm like a nerd like that sometimes. Apparently, it was like a part of this group who have all taken their names, and they made them into an anagram with the letter X. So the name Oshujax actually comes from the name Joshua scrambled up and added with an X. So that's where the other joke, Joshua X, comes in when people talk about Oshujax.
Yeah, you gotta remember the classic Applejacks.
Oh, man. I would have wished you never told Tyler that. Seriously. Once you told him that, game over. Game over. Done.
Hey, there ain't a lot you can do with Smokey, so you can't use that against me.
I could ask you where's Craig, and why ain't you getting your ass beat by Debo?
You got knocked the fuck out.
Damn.
Give me my wallet. I do it. You.
I won. Give me my money.
Give me my money.
What? I lost.
Anyway, okay.
Friday. What a great movie.
Okay.
C-Nation. Fucking Frank Dog! He would be the one to do this during an interview. During a very serious, incredible interview about call and stuff and things. You would do this.
That's the randomness of an unpredictable interview. People will jump in. People will record my shit. You know, it's all free ball here. We're just talking and having a good time. I can't believe I said free ball. See, it can be unpredictable what we're going to say on here. Anyway, I'm going to get back on track here before I lose all my subscribers.
Wait, we were on track?
We never on track, man.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's
you gotta think, me and you go back all the way before we got an E-Fed in and
oh yeah,
call and all that. And most people, some people know that we started out. Me and you became friends really in this RP Fed called UWE. It was a league owned by Zachary Decker at the time, and
as a side project he did. It was actually pretty cool at first, It was something absolutely new.
Yeah, I gotta admit that was the only RP Fed I ever been in that I actually enjoyed. And I actually put a effort into doing something different, besides Smokey. I'm used to just promoting Smokey. Then all of a sudden I went, I'm gonna be a promo with Mass Kane, not just regular Kane, cause Mass Kane always intrigued me. growing up. So I went with that, and you seen where that got me. I wasn't a great, I wasn't a great promo person, but I did enough where I could, I could earn a couple titles. And
hey, first ever 2-time UWE champion.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Shoot, I gotta admit though, you was a lot better than me. I couldn't, you were doing all kinds of shit with your shit.
Well, I ain't the best now, but I'm pretty decent.
Yeah, but I seen you in action though, so I, just, you was the one running UW for a while, long time.
Oh yeah.
Even
I don't even know what just put it in me. I was just like, everybody was enjoying that Fed a lot. Really, if you were in UWE, everybody was having a fun time, especially when it was actually being run after Zach Dak stepped down. It was actually being run by Jericho 222 and John, who was 13 on the SMF forums. Both of them actually came up with some pretty interesting stuff and did a good job. And one way or another, I'm guessing Jericho, I don't know how it went down, but one of them, I forget exactly how it went. One of them lost inspiration or something like that. I forget exactly everything that happened, but either way, it led to the Fed almost dying, and so I took it upon myself to finish the show, and then the boards got livened up again, and the rest is history, kinda.
Yeah. I gotta give you props for that, even whenever I quit, and I gotta admit, I was going through a lot of shit back then, so I freaking overplugged myself and got a little overhead myself, so.
Hey, we all do it, man. Hey.
Yeah, the best memory in UW to me is when me, you, and Attitude, we used to call them Attitude, we had plenty of names for each other. It's good to share memories about, cause since he'd been gone for so long, we don't know what happened to him or nothing, But, we always had some crazy ass conversations on the chat box in UWE. And he always freaking entertained us for hours and hours. We never left that chat box for nothing.
Oh yeah.
We stayed on it. Just talking shit about stupid shit. It just seemed like whenever he left, it just wasn't the same. It didn't feel right without him.
I mean, at one point, I was so proud of Curtis too. I mean, he started up from the bottom, really wasn't getting anywhere. Then he found something that stick for him when he started portraying The Rock, and he became the world champion and went over people like, because I hadn't really been in the RP verse that much, so I didn't know anything about no fucking 6,000 word RPs by then. It was just, we write our promos, we say our shit, we book the show, we get it out of the way, we go on. That was us. That was UWE in the beginning. But as time really went on, Curtis really developed into his own guy, and I was really proud to make the final decision and call him the world champion because, he really worked his ass off to get there, and I don't know where he went. It just seems weird that he vanished out of nowhere.
Yeah, everything seemed fine last time I talked to him, so it's kind of a mystery that we'll never know unless he shows back up. And there ain't no way you can actually say one way or another that something happened to him or something probably happened to his internet and he probably just moved on with his life or something else happened.
Yeah, but either way, it is what it is. He's not here, and that's why we don't talk about him much. But
we gotta talk about it most of the time.
Oh yeah.
Maybe one day he'll hear us like now. So
hopefully
that'd be cool. But yeah, I want to move on and get off that subject. That's the touchy subject, and we'll move on more beat stuff. What are your top 5 call leagues you like to watch and why?
That's kind of a tough question to ask because I don't really watch a lot of call leagues, but and I really can't rate them all, but if I had to name a couple of lists of call leagues that I really like, NESE, I really love what NESC does. I love the match quality. I love the booking. I love the promos. Everything is solid about it. WEDF, of course. I like exactly everything that's going on with WEDF at times. Now, at times like at last year's Survivor Series, it can get really frustrating. But at times, Frank Dog really knows what he's doing, and I think just the quality he puts into his work is absolutely incredible. And I'm sure all of his fans out there really love his stuff. I watched a bit of Jeremax. I don't know what I really thought about it. I thought it was okay. I mean, the first season I loved it, but the second season just really didn't have the same fire as it used to. I mean, I still like it because I'm pretty sure Jericho's giving it his all in this, but I'm not sure of what exactly to think about it. NAW, I really liked the early NAW. I thought it was good. The old leagues that Steven Sprider used to book, those were pretty good, but he lost inspiration on a lot of them, so I can't really, give him a valued opinion on how his leagues were, but I know the dude is a brilliant booker, and I know if he really had the dedication, he'd probably be in one of the top leagues here. I want to watch TCW. That's done by Afro Bandito on the Something Call for Forums. I hear it's really good, and I really need to try to give that a shot. What else here?
Ain't that 5?
That's a lot, but there's really no top 5 for me. But if there were like some that I had to like put down in just a list of 5 that I've really liked previously, NESC, this is in no order, by the way. NESC, WEDF, a bit of early NAW, some parts of new WWE booked by Burb, because I actually did watch it, but I wouldn't put all of it there, I guess, if that makes sense. And ICCW. I really liked everything that Zach Dak did, because, I mean, even though it was kind of a comedy league like SMF was, it was to the point where none of the gimmicks were overused as much, I think, anyway. It didn't feel overused to me, and it also, he really took a lot of time in his storyline booking and his matches, unlike Dingo's, in my opinion, at the tail end of, the SMF run.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good answer. I appreciate that. Well, my next one is, what is your best, what can you remember your best moment you ever seen in Call? The best moment you ever saw.
Best moment. I can't really quite put a finger on it. Thank you, Frank Dog.
Apparently that's the best moment.
In all seriousness, though, I don't know. Really, I mean, there's just a lot I can pick from. ICCW's first Oh My God, a Mania, and I think it's the only one, too. There was a lot of great moments there. The recent WrestleMania from WEDF had a lot of great moments. NESC in general has a lot of great moments. I mean, I can't really put a finger in on what would really be the best moment, but I think for me, just on a sense of pride here, just a surprise to see the $1 Million Congregation, just how over they are, because I think part of the reason why Oshujax got over and why he's like well loved is probably because of Wally, and Wally's actually one of our closest friends, as you know, Smokey.
Oh yeah.
Wally, he really put his heart out there and said, hey, you should give this guy a chance. And I think I owe a lot of my gratitude to Wally, also to Danny and Frank Dog, and pretty much all the other people who ever gave me a chance. But I definitely felt good in a way because watching WEDF, I've seen how Suspect has been at one point, if you watch very closely, Suspect seems like he gets a lot of momentum, and then something happens, and then he starts going down, and then he goes up, and then he goes down, and then he goes up, and so on and so forth, and he's in limbo. So really, I think the best moment for me was just creating the idea of the team of the $1 Million Congregation, which has apparently really boosted Suspect's popularity. And so I just feel kind of proud of myself that I was able to somewhat pay back to Wally by putting him in a really popular and over tag team, especially probably one of the top 5 tag teams in WEDF history.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Million Dollar Congregation is a good tag team, but I ain't trying to sound conceited or nothing, but you know I have to bring it up. The first match in WEDF for Suspect was Smokey versus Suspect. With Suspect won. And that's therefore launched his career in WDF. So I have played a role in it. It might not have been a good role, but his role, at least.
I get it. Frank Dogg saying I probably should have said Oshujax winning the Intercontinental title, but I mean, come on, Frank Dogg. I'm not that arrogant. I've been like, let's be honest.
You lied, suck of shit. Just say it. Yeah, you like, yeah, look, I'm the champion. Yeah, look at that boy. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. If we were talking like 2 or 3 years ago, I would probably say that was it. But I mean, I've kind of cooled off from that. I'd like to think I'd cooled off a bit from that.
That wasn't my best moment. You asshole WDF. What the fuck? That was fucked up.
Oh.
I just wondered, he just wrote on the chat thing. WDF did it. My best moment was the US title, and I lost that in like what, 2 seconds, if that.
On just a slideshow thing, but besides, the question was, what was the best moment you've seen in Colin? Not what was your best moment. You know what I mean? There's the difference between that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. Like, all in all in call, like, it don't matter what leagues call, IWT, which I won't promote right now, cause Wally get on my ass if I don't. Go watch
IWT coming to you in about another 7 months.
Probably is. Anyway, back to the question. We gotta stay on the question, man. Professional. Let's go. Answer the question.
Which question?
Oh, what the fuck? What was that?
I thought I already answered the question.
Yeah, you did. Okay, we're gonna move on. Okay. What is your favorite professional wrestling organization and why?
Oh, my favorite professional wrestling organization. If we were talking maybe like 6 or 8 years ago, it'd have to be TNA. 6 or 8 years ago. But, you know, considering right now, I don't know if I really have a favorite, to be honest with you. I just watch as I go.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some of what WWE does, and then there's just something about them that makes me turn away from the product. And then I go back to TNA, and I see how bad their booking is, and so I turn away from that. And here's a little interesting experience I had. About 2 months ago, I believe it was. Yeah, 2 months ago, my friend asked me to try out Ring of Honor. So I went in there watching their biggest event, Final Battle Blind, and I'm sorry, but that was, I mean, it was bad. But, you know, the people who I talk to who are really into the independent circuit, they're telling me that ROH really ain't worth all the hype, and it probably ain't, but at the same time, you know, I go in there with a clear head, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll see some better wrestling, because I do have some ROH DVDs that I've seen, but it's just the best of compilation with matches like CM Punk and Samoa Joe. I think it has Joe and Kenta Kobashi, and there's just a lot of good stuff on those DVDs. But I watched Final Battle, and I was just really looking at it, and I was like, first off, the chair shots to the head, considering all the health history that's happened, case in point, Chris Benoit, you know, just those chair shots to the head, why would they allow that? Why would they allow that? And plus, the crowd there, they're doing it in the Hammerstein, and the Hammerstein, in case nobody's aware, that's pretty much Smart City, for the most point, I would think, because they had a match where, the World Tag Team Champions, Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin, they're in a match against the Briscoe brothers, and the Briscoes are supposed to be the heels, while the world's greatest, or wrestling's greatest tag team, as they're called, Haas and Benjamin, are the baby faces. Yet when the match starts, the world's greatest, it's opposite. It's opposite. The world's greatest tag team is booed, yet the Briscoes are cheered. And so that really just says to me, you know, either these fans are stupid, or Ring of Honor does a poor job promoting their baby faces and their heels. And even then, I just watched that show looking for people who might be potential stars, and there weren't any. Yeah. There weren't any. I couldn't see anybody other than maybe, you know, Chris Hero, who I saw put on a decent match with Roderick Strong. And I like Hero's work generally. TJ Perkins, excellent worker. Michael Elgin, great powerhouse. Kevin Steen is the man. I love Steen's work, but I do think he kind of needs to tone down a bit on his promos, but the dude's good. He's got something good going for him. El Generico is good. Jay Lethal is good. I like both of them. But that main event what really turned me off from Ring of Honor, at least Final Battle anyway, was their main event with Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards, where I shit you not, it ultimately led to somebody no-selling a Tombstone Piledriver.
Wow.
I mean, these guys are sitting there for 40 minutes doing MMA-style submissions, shitting on MMA and making it look fake. They're sitting here doing these high-impact moves, not showing one sign of exhaustion, not selling any of the pain whatsoever, and it was bad. It looked completely dumb, and for the people who say Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards are good wrestlers, no, they're not. You're fucking kidding yourselves. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to sound like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but this is just my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
How are you going to tell me that Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards are good wrestlers when they're no-selling their moves and they're not even telling a story? Their match is just basically, okay, let's write down every finisher we know, every move we know, let's do it in 40 minutes, and let's just have a match. Let's not even tell a story. Let's not even sell our fatigue. Let's just make a world title look like shit by putting on the absolute worst no-sell fest as possible, and especially when their world champion is not even with Ring of Honor. He spends too much of his time in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why is he your world champion when he's barely even around?
Doesn't that sound like, I know, kind of out of subject, but doesn't that sound sort of like when Brock Lesnar was in, wasn't he in MMA?
That's right.
And then he was in TNA at the same time, but he showed up.
No. He wasn't in TNA at the same time.
I could have swore he was at one point whenever,
Brock Lesnar never went to TNA, no.
No, I'm talking about,
Lashley.
Lashley.
You're thinking of the black version.
Yeah. They both the same.
So
is Batista.
Oh. Come on now.
Next thing you know, Brock Lesnar's gonna make a movie called The Scorpion 4. They probably already made a Scorpion 4, so I don't know.
Bobby Lashley, yeah, kind of like Lashley, except Lashley wasn't their world champion. And the one time he got, and just to continue the atrocity of TNA's booking, they have a tournament where they have people representing each division, and if they won the tournament, they would get a title match for that division, which is dumb because that's saying if a guy in the tag division beats a main eventer in the world title division, they're only going to get a tag title match. Yeah. Not a world title match, a tag title match. But what's dumber than that is Bobby Lashley won that tournament, disappeared, never got the title match. So, in that instance, it's like, number one, TNA, why would you book such a stupid tournament? And number two, why would you make Bobby Lashley your winner when you know he's not even committed? He's too busy dicking around in MMA more than he wants to be in professional wrestling. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Well, but yeah, Josh, We need to calm down. Calm down. This is, calm down. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You want me to pump the chest for you?
Oh, get out. Yeah, I'm pumped. You know that.
Yeah. But we're going to continue with this, but we're going to have to continue on with the interview first, and then we can get back to your professional wrestling. But the next question I want to ask is, I know you book, WEDF Raw.
Correct.
And, Zach, I think his last name, I can't pronounce it.
Don't even call him
Rugg.
that. He's Zach
Rugg. I just call him Zach Rugg.
Z-Rug. Zach
Z-Rug. That's his name. Z-Rug.
That's my boy Z-Rug.
Z-Rug. What up, dog? But he booked SmackDown.
Correct.
What is the most challenging thing to writing a storyline and making it interesting, since WEDF is a popular league like it is? And what do you learn from doing it?
Well, one of the most challenging things about it is really, I don't know how to answer that. What is one of the most challenging things about booking? It's fun in a sense that it's fantasy booking, but it's also challenging in the sense that, you know, there's so many guys, especially on each show, that both me and Zach want to push. But at the same time, we gotta have a pecking order. We gotta have certain people who are going to push everybody on the show. So really the most challenging thing is deciding who's going to get what, who's going to be your world champion heading into insert next big event here, who's going to be in the hunt, who's going to be in a rivalry. It's weird because there's so many people, there's so many ideas you have for so many people, yet your time is limited and you can't get everybody on one show. So you have to kind of figure out what you want to do and how you want to do it. But especially if you're thinking about one certain thing, like I know one thing that's in high demand from the WEDF universe is a Zach Starr World Heavyweight Championship run. But there's a couple problems with this. Now, the positive is that Zach Starr is over. Zach Starr, you know, if he's in the main event position, people aren't going to shit on this because he's over. If he's in an upper tier position, they're not going to hate on him. And if he's not being shoved down their throats, great. Because right now he's like Danny Jackpot in a way, without the credibility. He's over, but I don't mean to say Danny Jackpot, because Danny Jackpot, he has a dedicated fan base of people who just love to hate him and people who just don't like him because they see him everywhere at call and he's shoved down everybody's throats and he's always in an upper position. Zach Starr, I guess you could say he's like Danny without that and without the credibility. Because the problem with putting Zach Starr in a world title position is that according to the tail end of WEDF Season 1 and all of Season 2, he's nowhere near ready to be in the running for the world title. He has the popularity, yes. He's definitely a high card act based on that. The problem is that you have to make his run make sense, because if you put the title on him too early, it's going to kill his heat. You're going to kill his popularity, and nobody's going to like the guy afterward, and everybody's going to lose faith on him, and it's going to take forever for you to get him back in that same position. Perfect example, real life example, WWE's Jack Swagger. But, anyway, the real challenge behind doing something like that is you have to build him up. You have to, make the people believe that he can be a world champion. And the other thing about it that I think needs to be discussed is, should Zach Starr be a heel or should he be a babyface? Because the thing you have to be careful about is, do people love him being a dick to everybody, or do they just genuinely love the guy for his matches, for his work, for his personality, and they really want to see this guy beat the best, face the best, and be the world champion? Or do they want them to be an opportunistic champion who just wins at any cost and keeps the title and makes himself look good that way?
Yeah, but in my personal opinion, I think he is more better as a babyface, because that's where he first started out in WWF. If my memory serves me right, anyway. Well, I remember him being a babyface whenever he first started out. And that's what actually blew up his career. Because I remember every single thing in the beginning part, because I was in WEF at the time. And, you know, I was deep into WEF. So, before all that drama started. So, but that's on the water under the bridge. I ain't trying to do nothing, but I'm just trying to put an example. But,
and the perfect thing about Zach Starr is that he's not really in that position where he's been shoved down everybody's throats.
Yeah.
He's not at the level where he's been in the main event so much that everybody's gonna hate him and nobody's gonna like him and yada yada yada. Now, in the inverse position, his cousin Danny Jackpot has actually been that way, especially when, for example, the first ever WEDF Royal Rumble match that saw everybody and their mother predicting Danny Jackpot to return from his accident at Survival of the Fittest, I believe it was. And anyway, he
Stop backing out on me.
I'm sorry. My bad, dude.
Go ahead.
I did not run Danny Jackpot over. I'm innocent of all charges. I'm pleading the fifth. I ain't gonna go nowhere else. I did not run Danny Jackpot over.
But anyway, as I was saying, everyone and their mother had predicted Danny Jackpot to come back from Survival of the Fittest, return in the Royal Rumble match, and win. And you know what happened? Exactly that. And when those fans saw that, there was an absolute outrage. Those fans could not believe that, you know, the most obvious ending happened, especially when at this time, and this is way too much anyway, Danny Jackpot is considered to be a 14, 15-time world champion by this point.
Yeah.
And he's everywhere. The dude is everywhere in Call. So,
but you know what? You know, one thing, I'm sorry to be putting attention off of you, man. But when I have something to say, sometimes I'm just randomly
you can go ahead.
But Danny Jackpot may be good, but he never owned a honest victory against Smokey. In even ground.
Let's not get into that here.
No, it's all fun.
Let's
you know what, Danny? If Danny listen to this, let's go again. Smokey versus Danny Part 2. I want to get a winner, and I want it straight up in the WDF ring. I don't care what it is, nothing. I put Oshujax in the match too, just to make it interesting. I'm just doing promo, and I'm just
man, don't give Zach any ideas.
Oh yeah, do it, yeah. Oh yeah. I just got to post some notes that remember Coalition 2.
To be fair, Frank Dog, didn't he pin Vladdy Kozlov and not Oshujax or Danny?
I hit you with it. I hit you in the head when I go down the acid splash.
Still didn't pin me.
I still hit you in the head. You fell down.
Still didn't pin me. That's gonna be the rule. That's heel 101. You didn't pin me, therefore you're not better than me.
Wasn't that when you was like a John Morrison wannabe?
Don't even.
Oshujax versus Smokey versus Jackpot versus Kozlov. That was whenever Smokey had his feud with Kozlov. And you was basically getting into Call, basically. The Call world.
It was dumbest leagues ever. Oh, why did I let that go?
That brings me to the next question. That leads me up to this. After all this stuff, that was all this Collision 2 and all that. You, me and you, was talking when we was in UWE, and you got me into this league called, I don't want to be stupid. What was that, video game league?
GWA.
Yeah, that's it. But you got me into that, and it actually made a birth or something between me and you. and that was the Alabama boys. Me and you became a team. The first ever title defense. I mean, the first ever title chance we got, we won.
Oh man, that was great too, especially when we beat Tyler. And for those of you who know GWA, you probably don't. But there was this guy in there, his name was Battleheart. Dude was ridiculous at 2010.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he ate, slept, and breathed that fucking game. That's how good he was. Now, I personally think in the early going, Ruben Richard might have been better than him. Might have. But I mean, they were right about equal with each other. But I think, you know, as time went on, Battle started edging out, showing he's the top dog. He's the guy that everybody needs to go to. And so really, I think I held a bit of animosity toward him because at the same time, he's the booker.
Yeah.
So I felt to me that was him pushing us off the card, or not pushing us off the card, but basically saying, you know, look, I'm the top dog here. I deserve the title shots. I should be the world champion. Me, I'm the best.
That's
and I'm like, it's 'cause you're the owner. Whatever, you Mary Sue.
Yeah.
But I mean, ever since then, you know, I've cooled down off that, and I'm like, you know, Tyler was actually that good at 2010, and I was actually starting to get somewhere near that, but more times than not, he probably kicked my ass one way or another. Him or Ruben.
I gotta admit though, the only reason we won that match is basically because I got lucky and I was able to get his partner wasn't Ruben.
Colin. I love Colin.
Yeah, he was cool. But me and him started getting to it, and I somehow was able to throw him to the other side of the ring and get him separated from you and him.
And we had a game plan walking into that. Like,
yeah.
We even discussed, we're like, I'm probably the only one here who can take Battle. You can take him easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fight him, and stuff's going to happen. And then I eventually end up powerbombing him through a table, and I shit you not, ladies and gentlemen, Smokey, like, yeah, I don't know if he really did it, but it sounded like he jumped out of his seat when that happened.
I was surprised I did not expect us to win that match, especially since this was like probably like not even 2.5, 3. No, it was about a little bit late, about 3.5, 4 weeks after I joined GWA.
Oh yeah,
all that shit happened, and it all came, you know, it all came all of a sudden. Plus, I made a wager with Battle before the match that if we won, that he had to go out on an RP and tell everybody I was the greatest newcomer to ever come into a wrestling ring. Remember that?
Oh yeah, dude.
That's good.
Hilarious. I loved it.
Hey, that was worth it though. Even though our title, I still think we should have retained our titles that next match.
They came with a better plan than us, and they got us.
Yeah, they
That's
caught us.
That's all it is, man. That's all it is. Hey,
it happens.
They played better. It happens. It happens. Plus, it was a legit match, so it wasn't like a tables match.
Yeah. We both fucked up in our own right. We did a good match though. For a straight up tag team match to lead off that match. It was a pretty good match. We proved that we could hold our own, in other words. Especially me, I think I proved, you know, even though I wasn't there long, you know, that I could at least, you know, contend with y'all.
Yeah.
Not much, but I could still contend.
Yeah.
Even though there's some people there I had problems with because some of them play like, this one dude name, I can't remember his name, Excalibur.
Oh, no. I know who you're thinking of. You're thinking of Killer Goth.
No, I'm thinking Excalibur.
No, you're thinking of Killer Goth. Excalibur, he was okay, but he didn't really play bad. Killer Goth, aka Laurie Sykonen, or whatever his fucking name was by then, he wanted to run into the match and he kept like doing 5,000 spears in a row.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I did it, but I was just like, you know what, fuck this. And I started playing cheap against him and beast mode, and it made him rage quit so hard. It was the best. I loved it.
Alright. We get later in this interview and we even talked about your own league. So I'm gonna switch the subject a little bit and we're gonna talk about new TNA. And I want you to talk about your sudden popularity and how quick you have gotten it.
Oh man.
What you think about what you have done so far and what you think you could do better, you know what I mean?
Well, first off, the rise in popularity. I didn't even expect new TNA to grow as fast as it did. I didn't. I thought I would be at about 300 or 500 subs by now, and just a couple people know who I am, and a couple people watch my show. But apparently Frank Dog's been busting his ass and really getting my name on the map. So thank you to him. I have like 1,000 subs now, I think, or something like that. I don't know how, but I think Frank Dog really 1,230 according to Frank Dog. I think if it wasn't really for Frank Dog and for him having about 5,000 subs and actually being like probably the biggest name going on in the Callverse right now, new TNA would not nearly be as big as it is right now.
No. I gotta agree kind of similarity because my channel got 670 subscribers, I think.
Your original channel?
My new channel.
Oh, but I do remember your original channel had quite a lot because of
me and him worked together and we did a lot on the old channel and it ended up getting deleted or on copyright banned. It's like now and void. I can never get to it ever,
Yeah.
which sucks.
That's a shame.
It's a lot of videos, a lot of hard work, but we all must move on. But this is back. This is my interview to you.
Right.
I don't know why I'm talking. But continue on. We talk about new TNA. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm really surprised at the surge in popularity of just how fast that it's really grown. I would think, especially with how slow I've been producing episodes, and I know that's bad habits for me, but I know I find it funny, ironic in a way that I think of Frank Dog when I think of how big new TNA's gotten, because I remember it took him a long while to get through season 1, and then he just started really producing episodes, and then by season 2 he was getting faster and releasing maybe like 4 or 5 shows a week or something like that. It's ridiculous, that work rate that he had in season 2.
Yeah.
But in any case, I'm surprised. 1 CPV a month, yeah, but still, a lot of shows in the week, Frank Dog, a lot. But, that's what I find ironic about that. But I don't know how many times I'm gonna keep saying this, but there's no other way to put it other than how shocked I am, really, that new TNA has grown as fast as it has. And, I'm always open to any kind of criticisms, complaints, etc., etc. I'm just fortunate that, I've been lucky to find a few good people like Frank Dog and like, Zach Shore and Loudon Styles, 2 of the, best commentators I've ever had the pleasure of.
Wait. We're playing in the next question. That leads into the next question. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. We'll leave that out. Okay.
Yeah.
But in any case, I'm surprised that a lot of people are really enjoying what I do. It's not perfect. There's definitely a lot of things I could work on. I have like 40 or 50 guys on one show, which I think is a big problem. So I'm wanting to see if I can cut it down to where I can only use like 20 odd guys a show with some reserves. And, really, I think I just need to improve also on my match quality as well. Because, I mean, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to recording. So if I see, like, one really bad thing happen during the match, if I just see, like, a missed strike, I'm always going to get agitated by it. Because it's just going to eat away at me. Like, that's not supposed to happen. redo. And so that's another reason why everything takes so long on recording there, because I'm just such a perfectionist when it comes to matches, and it's really frustrating at times to record when stuff like that happens. And then I won't touch it for a while because I'll get that frustrated at the recording.
Yeah.
But, I want to work on being able to, the most important thing that I really need to work on with new TNA is not just, match quality and promo length and everything like that. The most important thing to me is going to be consistency. Getting shows out more frequently and keeping, new TNA relevant so that way we're not like we are right now and 2 or 3 weeks have gone by since the last Impact.
Yeah. Yeah, but it takes effort to put out a show. I learned that the hard way because I was trying to put out FDW for a long time. And
this isn't easy. This is an appreciated art form that some people have just mastered. It's not as simple as getting a camcorder and sitting in front of a TV, because that's not a call league. At that point, you're just, I don't even know what the fuck you're recording there. A call league is, a
show, an actual show.
It's not somebody recording off their TV. It's somebody going to get a capture device. It's somebody going to edit in their themes. It's somebody who's going to,
put
think
effort
this
into
out,
stuff.
yeah, and book and think about their future and think about who they're going to put the world title on, how they're going to do it, so on and so forth. And the other thing that I think, just as a future tip to all call league owners out there or aspiring, if you have original calls, be it of yourself or of somebody else, make sure the most important things. If you have original calls of yourself, don't put yourself in a world title picture right away against people like John Cena and The Rock and Steve Austin and Undertaker. It really offends me, especially with people like the guy who did TNE or Wrestling Heaven with Poison B, where they have original cause sitting as world champions, beating guys, multiple time world champions in real life, like John Cena and, again, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle. The list goes on and on. Nobody wants to see a version of yourself beating real life main eventers, because at that point, nobody's going to believe you, because people are going to look at you and be like, why the hell should I give this guy any of my time?
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, I made the mistake of doing that with Oshujax, but in the same time, it really didn't hurt me in New TNA, because luckily enough, Oshujax was decently over with the
Let me tell you one thing that needs to happen in New TNA that will make everybody happy. Alabama boys. New TNA.
I don't think they're ready. I don't think they're ready.
I don't think anybody's ready for it, but the car world has to have an explosion soon in a tag team scene. That's the only way I can see it happening.
But yeah, that's the mistake I made in UT as the owner, putting the world title on myself. But I did fix that. That has been fixed, and luckily enough, nothing has really been hurt in the process.
Yeah. And you're doing a great job, but I'm going to move on to my next question. I done said all that, but whatever you want to do, you want to do. I just had to plug myself in there,
It's the smoke room, after all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's all about honesty, so we all just gonna ride with it. But, I kept you from talking about earlier, your top commentators and the new commentators. Who are your top commentators to look out for this year?
My top commentators, just in general, one of my favorites to work with, Loudon Styles. I absolutely love working with the guy. I'm glad now that he's not talking like this, like he did on the YGA Tough Enough Finals, and he's just being all quiet and whispering.
Yeah, it ain't his fault.
I especially love it when Loudon can be loud, because he and I can just sit there and have a good old time, just like, oh shit, something happened. Not exactly like like that, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Still.
But yeah, Loudon's been, me and Loudon went a long way back. I'm not sure if you saw our interview, a few episodes ago.
I saw a few pieces of it. I liked it. Thought it was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but, me and Loudon went a long way back, and it was kind of cool to see him actually, you and him actually, talk to each other, get along with each other. You give him a chance on your show, to build himself up. Cause there's only so much I can do for the guy. He got so much talent. I've seen his video,
I'm just glad he's really getting exposed as a commentator. And really I wouldn't have found his talent and his depth without Steven Sprider, of course. Or he's changed his name to Santos, Steven Santos, but he's known as Sprider or Sprite to everybody else, or it's a long list of bullshit names on Skype that we probably won't say here, but
asshole.
Oh, come on now. Really?
He always fucking be Tony, Minnesota.
Really, Sprite was the one who introduced me to Loudon, and Loudon was actually pretty great. When I asked him to commentate first on the Go Home show for New TNA, Impact episode 4. Yeah, it was Impact episode 4. He was sitting there doing color with Zach, and I saw those two, and Loudon was gelling well with him, and Zach Shore was really doing his thing, and I really just looked at him. I said, I want to use those two as a pair more.
Yeah.
They're good. I love them. They're good. They're good together. They're perfect. Zach Shore, still speaking of which, one of the very few gems of the WEDF commentator search. One of the very few gems, because even though he had a lot of inexperience, he was really the first guy who sat alongside me and Frank Dogg, and he was the first guy who got it. He was the first guy who got right into the match and commentated unbiased, not unprofessionally, but professionally. He got into the action. He was invested, and he put it over well. And that's what I thought was great about Zach, because he was just so easy to work with. He was better than people like Kool-Aid, who's only going to give you nothing but jokes and jokes and jokes. But when he's serious and when he reins himself in, I will give Kool-Aid credit on this. He can be a good commentator. Steven, I don't know what to say about him. I'm not going to bring up the stuff we do on Skype to him, but as a commentator, I'm sorry, Steven, you're not that good. You're not that good. I thought you were. I don't know what I saw in you, but come on, dude.
Yeah. Well,
oh, don't even remind me of that video, Frank Dogg. But Drew stumbles a lot. He's kind of like Kool-Aid at a point where he'll get off topic and he'll start talking about anything but the match. Perfect example, corporate elbow at Survivor Series for WEDF. But this isn't about commentators I don't like. I said Loudon. I said Zach for commentators I do like. Frank Dogg, obviously. I like Frank Dogg. Frank Dogg, I kind of think he plays a little bit too much like Michael Cole now. He needs to kind of rein back a little bit on that. For the most part, he's great. I love working with him. He's about probably on the same level as best guy I love to work with, other than Loudon. Who else is good? Homer especially. Homer in the past few months, I've seen a lot more improvement because, most of the time I sat back and I saw him just talking about it, showing no emotion, didn't even care about the action. Then I commentated with him at WrestleMania, especially when it was just me and him alone for Taker and Goldberg. Just the way we perfectly bounced off each other, the way he was into the action, the way we were both putting them both over, it was just perfect to me. It was perfect. I loved it. Homer has drastically improved. Very, very, very much improved. What else?
I gotta agree. He put it, in my opinion, he improved himself by being, you know, how he used to be. It ain't no secret, you know, everybody had beef with each other. Shit got carried away and she got involved with Carl, you know, that shouldn't have been involved with. And I think that's, you know.
I especially loved it when, you know, he toned down the inside jokes. Like, he might have made one inside joke or two, but in the past, let's just say, compared to now, he made a lot more inside jokes than he does now. And I was bad too. I will admit, you know, there's various things I've done. We've all had our moments. We've all had our moments where we've made a lot of inside jokes, but I think as time goes on, we finally start to cool down and realize, okay, look, what's more important to the fans, our inside jokes or the product? I would think the product would be more important than, you know, what makes the main read or, John Morrison 2009 or Batista 2010 and all that, you know. All that should be to the wayside and for private conversations or for just places that aren't in a, call product. That's the number one thing you gotta be aware of as a commentator as well. One of them anyway. I wouldn't say number one, but one of the more important things.
Yeah, that's some good answers, man. I appreciate that too. I want to ask you personally. I know that most people have been saying, you know, my mic's been sounding better. How'd you grade my performance since my mic's been fixed? And what do I need to work on so, you know, I know what to work on and next show to make myself better, you know, cause you are a good commentator. I gotta give you much props about it. That's the reason I asked you live on air.
Some people say I'm the best, so.
No, you ain't the best, but
I said some people.
You're a good friend of mine, and I trust what you say. That's the reason I say that.
Yeah, I get you. To be honest, I haven't really watched a lot of your new stuff, but I mean, I know, like, when I could barely hear you anyway, you did normally pretty good. And I think some of the few times I heard you when you were clear, I'm not very sure of that, but, it was good to hear you. You are definitely a good color commentator. You're definitely good when you're put up to it. Frank Dogg would probably give you more of a good analysis. He commentated Tribute to the Troops. I didn't see that. Well, all of Tribute to the Troops anyway, Frank Dogg. But, from what I've seen of you, ever since you got your new mic, you're actually really good on commentary. You are a good color commentator. I will give you that. You get into the action and you're probably one of the better ones. You know, there are some things you can work on. If I watched more of your product, if I watched more of your work, that is, I would know how to grade you and to tell you, you know, what you need to work on, so on and so forth. But, you know, from what I've just basically seen of you and what I remember of you, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're gonna get more of a chance to, listen to me commentate, cause, WWF put me in charge of commentating with, Ty on United every show.
Ty's good too. Ty's a good color commentator.
Ty's a good up and coming commentator. He has a lot of talent, you know, and if the only thing me and him gotta work with, we work good together. All it is just, you know, we gotta work chemistry wise. It's all about, you know, not interrupting each other when we're trying to, you know, one dude's, play by play, one dude's, you know, commentator. You know what I mean? So.
One's gonna put over the story of the match, the other's gonna do the wrestling related stuff.
Exactly. Todd is better at play by play because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not that great at move calling. I just say random ass shit most of the time. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I don't know the moves, so I try to make it funny. You know, try to put a little humor on it. But it sounds stupid sometimes, but sometimes it works out to my advantage, like in my past. Like how I came up with some of my sayings in the past. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Ty got a lot of future going. Loudon, he got a lot of enthusiasm in his commentary. I believe he's one of the few people that actually keeps it real commentating. And he keeps it real off, commentary to table too. When he goes to rant channel. He got like 3 different YouTube channels, I think.
Yeah. Loudon was Loudon in the commentator search. Frank Dog, from what I remember, and because Frank Dog's here and he's recording this, so, you know.
Yeah, it's all come through our headset.
Loudon was discovered through the commentator search, if I believe well, because, somebody, if I remember from what Loudon told me, and I know he'll correct me if I get this wrong here, if I remember well, somebody told Loudon about the commentator search saying, you know, hey, WEDF's looking for commentators. You should throw your hat to the discussion. And he got added in somewhere by somebody. And then Sprite, I think, eventually added him to our other chat because he was found to be a cool person. And I don't know exactly how it went from there, but I mean, I think, oh, there we go. That's probably what it was. Because Smokey's typing this, ladies and gentlemen, but,
yeah, give me a second.
he's saying he was probably, more than likely, trying to promote, Loudon, which I think makes sense. That works, right? Let me see here. Derp. Oh! I see.
Directly linked. Right there.
There we go. Frank Dog finally finds it here. Frank Dog apparently added Loudon. Yeah, that's what it was. Frank added Loudon.
Because of me. It says, because of FDW's Smokey's colleague. Okay, we gotta move on. We at like an hour and 14 minutes. I don't know if it's on this whole video, but on that clock thing.
Frank Dog, it's probably because somebody added him in said chat.
I don't know. We probably at an hour because WDF had to go Frank his monkey and then came to early Courtney Josh and we.
And we just had a ball here. It's been an hour of fun.
Not really. You ain't gotta lie to me.
Oh, come on.
If
I didn't have fun, wouldn't you think we would have ended this about like
I don't know.
1 hour and 13 minutes ago?
I don't know. It's tough to get viewers nowadays. Just I know. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to think about anything we need to promote or anything we ain't talked about. Anything you want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
No, Frank, come on now. Let's leave that to the side. Let's see. What could we talk about here? We've covered the commentary part. Although I do probably need to, probably eventually, cause it might be a good idea for some people to ask me for this, but, basically, maybe a video giving out a few tips on how you can really just improve and up your game on commentary. It'd be a simple video, of course.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it'd be something to let people know just, hey, look, you want to be decent at commentary, just start kind of following these tips and you might get it as you go.
Yeah, it's kind of tough though. Commentary is kind of, you gotta get your own flow about things. They just, some people will try to go, just be like, okay, this is a move. This is a move. This is this move, and
that's most commentators. That's what I hate. It's like, oh no, it's this move, and now it's this move, and then it's this.
No, we talk about it. I got one good show that I don't know if you still see if it like the way you used to, but RCW. Owned by H.A. Duke at the time. He's trying to bring it back, and sometime this month, actually. I ain't sure if he is, but, what you think about the current product of RCW and what it has done, even though, you probably don't know much about it, cause I've been through it, been RCW for a long time.
I don't know how to put it. When I first joined our RCW, it was because of you. And because of,
Homer.
Yeah. Me and Homer joined in, You know, we kind of liked it first because our guys had something to do, and then we just start like really watching what's going on. It's just like, Homer, why did we join this again? I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing that really did it for me, that's always going to be dusty ground no matter what. The Keith Cutler thing. The guy went from jobbing to everybody in the hardcore title division, straight to world champion. Didn't even win a match. Didn't have anything going for him. Yet somehow, he becomes the world heavyweight champion.
Yeah. I want to open up this conversation even larger. I know we over a lot of time right now, but I don't care. This is my show. I could give a fuck. So I'm gonna open this conversation up about RCW right now. It's about to get interesting. So I want you to be honest with me.
Oh boy.
Why did y'all just drag on the whole, RCW Uprising 2? I mean, the HCW Uprising 2. I know there's a bunch of joke parodies of it, I wasn't really on the other side, I was on that side, and I honestly, I don't know what was going on y'all side. Why would y'all do that? I know whether good or bad, we all learn from my past, people make mistakes. But what was your what was your going through your mindset at that time, if I may ask?
Well, the mindset I had was, after, Duke did what he did, we were both, like, real mad at times. Like, we could both take his league and book it a lot better than he could. Because at the time, we were both just really mad at the way the booking of it really turned out. And, politics went flying. And this is also at the time when me and Homer are a part of Platinum Age, and really, I would think for the both of us, that did a lot more bad than good for us, because both of our egos, not just mine, it went both ways. Both of our egos really got out of hand with Platinum Age. Like, literally, we both thought we were the two best things to grace the whole Callverse, and we thought we were so great that nobody could beat us. We thought we were... I don't know if Homer thought this, but I mean, to me anyway, it might be just my own bloated ego. I thought we had the potential to beat two of the hottest damn things in all the call world. I thought we could be bigger than Danny, bigger than Suspect, bigger than everybody.
Oh yeah, I know, trust me, I was one of the main people who formed the first group. And I talked with Homer on the last interview about this. YGLW. Hey, you know that?
Yeah, I do. How short-lived that was, man.
No, it lasted a while. And me and Homer was talking about it, and I was thinking, how about, it ain't nothing about YouTube or nothing. It's all about having fun. But me and Homer was talking, and we was talking about bringing back YGLWA for Xbox Live for at least a couple matches. Since the three-way now, it's different than when we was playing. When we was YGLWA, didn't allow three people to be a team in the wrestling game. So it was kind of limited. So we had a tag team with one of each other. So, but I think it'd be fun. And we could pwn people at the same time that they could spam us. Cause I remember back in the day, people would try to spam us, and what would happen?
All over them. All over them. Nobody could even touch us. We were that good against randoms on 2010.
That was fun. It's trying to change now. I try to play. I ain't never been able to play live since 10. Yeah. But 12's, I ain't really got into it. I play it with friends, like, Calex, for example. I'm giving him a shout out, cause me and him always play on there. He actually good. Calex is calls, Alex Snow. But, Me and him actually had some great matches. Like last night, we freaking had a match for like freaking like an hour and a half. Freaking like kicking out. We kept on kicking out, and luckily I hit my finisher on him and won. It was freaking crazy.
The game has changed a lot, though. That's why I think people can't play as well as they used to on 2010. The game has changed so much, especially the other thing that's going to come to mind here is the lag, the severe lag that just really ever since I think 2010, where everything was decently stable. Ever since then, that THQ's online has just really gone down the shitter.
Yeah.
That nobody can get on community creations anymore. You can barely get in the Royal Rumbles. People have terrible connections. Terrible connections.
I think personally, people be complaining about the contact with the tables, or the sensitivity of the weapons. I don't think that would be a big deal if they fixed online. If they fixed, if they completely, fixed the community creations and they fixed the online system, everything, if people would still complain, because people was going to complain no matter what.
And they need to,
one person.
THQ aren't going to fix everything, because really, WWE, like, they took what they had going in 2011, spruced it up, made it all shiny, like, visually, and, everything you hear, everything you see, it looks like a WWE production. You're like, alright, this is the game I want. Then you start playing the game, you start looking at the mechanics, you start looking at everything going on, and you're just like, what the fuck am I even playing? Because, the system is a lot worse than 2011 to me. A lot. Because 2011's mechanics are great. I love how all the weapons are sensitive, where you could, even though a guy might pop up after it, you could slam a guy on the steel steps. He would hold his back and sell it for a bit and stand up.
Yeah.
But he would stay down decently. This isn't like in 12 where you do a suplex and you could keep doing the same thing for about 10 minutes and they wouldn't get tired. They keep popping up like nothing ever happened.
Yeah. It all depends on his overall stats, though. If you have a guy that has like overall 100 stamina, and
So I've been told. I've been told that it's more about overalls, and the higher overall you have, the better time you're going to have getting somebody down and keeping them down. So I don't know, but just for some reason, I can't get into WWE 12 as much as I probably want to.
Yeah, but I don't really see nothing really wrong with it. I can get into any game as long as I'm able to create.
Oh yeah, like if I'm playing with friends or anything, I can definitely play. Like no problem. I'll just sit there and I'll laugh at all the stupid shit that happens and go on about my day. But in terms of like trying to do something for new TNA, the system is just not good for match production. Just for me anyway.
Yeah.
It might just be my not used to WWE 12ness, but even then I just can't get into the system.
Yeah.
It's too buggy for me. Too many more bad things happen than good on WWE 12.
Yeah. Okay, Jax, but we're gonna start with my last question. What do you expect to accomplish by the end of this year?
What do I expect to accomplish? That's a tough question.
That is. That's the reason I'm on the show.
Good point. There's a lot of things, I'd love for Oshujax to be the world champion somewhere. I'd love for it to happen. I don't think it'll happen, but where he's at right now is great. But I just love to see him just be a major player. Not like really on the exact same level as Danny. You know what I mean? Because at that point, I'll be thinking, shit, I'm gonna have a backlash of people who don't like me, and it really eats me up if people don't like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like you. I just gotta be friends with everybody for the most part, unless there's just people I don't like.
You know what though? The bad thing about my career in call was I suffered the same thing that the Jump Pot did, but without the titles. Without the titles at all. I suffered it all he had all through his career, before my career, right when my career started taking off. And then it just, I'm going to be honest, since this is, an open-minded show, people was, putting, agenda against me at the time because they were scared to push me because, they're scared what other people would think. But that's my own personal opinion about that.
And it's also because everywhere you look, people are going to think their calls are better. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Their calls could be the generic Xbox Live call you're going to see with crazy tattoos everywhere, and they look like Randy Orton or they look like Edge and have the whole entire Edge entrance with WWE music. Let's just put it this way. People will think their calls are better, and they could be in baggy shorts, and there could be not one original idea running through their vein at all whatsoever. And even then, they're still just going to think they are the hottest pieces of crap going on right now. You know what I mean? Especially with now that I think about it, CCL. CCL has a lot of really bad calls. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, there's some good ones in there.
Better be.
But the worst one in there is that fucking Smokey faggot. I hate him.
Oh,
Oh my god, he's so... I'm fucking kidding. I'm just fucking with you. I completely forgot you're at CCL too.
Cracker ass. No, don't make me bring macaroni head. I will call you macaroni head because you from Alabama too.
He's like, there is no bitch assness allowed in the smoke room.
No, there's no bitch assness, but I allow it. I allow it nowadays, so the bitch assness can wait.
All in good fun.
All in good fun. All in good fun. You say whatever you want to. I say whatever I want to.
But seriously though, CCL, I wouldn't say all of them, but I'd say some of the calls they had there are some of the worst I've seen. Like Michael Hyman especially. What's the big deal with him? He looks like a fucking bum more than he looks like a superstar. And I mean, the bum look is fine. There's people who can work it fine, but he's meant to be this, evil guy, part of the movement, which is nothing more than WWE's Nexus repackaged and terribly done. And I mean, I don't know how to put it. It's just, for a guy who boasts about having some of the best call action and some of the best calls this side of the call universe, I don't see it at all. The calls, some of them absolutely painfully generic. The matches horribly done. The audio ducking is horribly done. The guy, I don't know, for the most part, I've heard he's improved. I've seen some improvement. I can kind of concede on that. And of course, there are some things he does good, He has the custom nameplates, and I think he has a couple flashes in the pan with good ideas on production. But just with CCL, there is 3 times more bad than there is good. And every good thing that happens to him, there's about 5 bad things behind it that happen.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I want to take this final one.
But anyway, back to the original question, since we've gone way off topic here.
Way off topic. Of course.
Again, some of the things I'd like to accomplish here. That's for Oshujax. I just love to see him really develop and grow into one of the big major players. I know Oshujax is big as he is, I want to see him continue to evolve into a mainstay, into a main eventer, into a world champion. I want him to be at the cream of the crop when you think of guys. Excuse me. When you think of original calls, guys who are the best at what they do. And that's for Oshujax here. But for new TNA, the main thing I want, the thing I'd love is to have more than one CPV this year. I'd love to have a lot of shows, and I'd also love to also aspire to reach into the 2,000 or 3,000 sub mark, and I also would like to be aspiring. Right now, I think new TNA is the fourth biggest fed in the Vivianverse. I'd love for it to be number 2, right behind WEF. And then for me as a commentator, just keep getting better. Just keep doing what I do. You know, start paying attention to all the bad things I do and keep going as I'm going. And I want to get out there and commentate more. You know, I don't want to just like do it, slack off for 2 weeks and then try to commentate. Don't even know what I'm doing half the time. I want to be on point all the time, and I want to keep being consistent. Because for me as a commentator, even though I'm good, I just always know there's little perks I need to improve. There's something I always need to tweak. There's just something I always need to work on. I just need to work on my craft and perfect it and show why I'm one of the best, or why people call me one of the best.
Yeah, but Oshujax, Josh, whatever you want to be called.
Call me Josh. You know who I am. It's not like I'm to you.
Yeah, but yeah, I want you to just promote your stuff. And what's your channel? So I doubt people don't know your channel, but it's a promotion show. Shut up, WDF. I didn't ask you your opinion.
For people who don't know my channel, and you should by now, you really should, it's youtube.com/Oshujax21. That is the main new TNA channel, and that is also my personal channel. That is the real me. I am really Oshujax. I'm the guy who made him stuff and things. I am the creator. Yes, that is me. Nobody else. If anybody else tells you otherwise, they're wrong. It's me. It's Oshujax21 on YouTube.
You lying. You're a fake, whatever. You're a clone.
Get out of here with that. Hey, by the way, whatever channel this is on, he didn't really create Smokey. No. He created somebody different. You don't want to see Israel call it. It's that bad.
It's a conspiracy. Anyway, I want to take the chance to promote a couple things myself. But since this is my show, but I want to say that Loudon Styles. He just got his CPV almost all the way up. He got one more part left in World Championship Scramble. If I can say that right, damn, fuck, shit, hell, I can't say it right, but what hell ever.
Battle Pro, that is his call Fed's name, everybody. That is Battle Pro. Check that out. I think he's kind of got, I don't know if that's for sure, but I think he wants to try to kind of go for a Puro style feel to it. So if you like kind of Puro stuff, maybe check that out.
If you like Smokey or any other of my calls on there, go check it out, because it ain't gonna disappoint.
Yeah, well. Smokey puts on one of the worst matches ever.
Apple Jackson, just jealous. Don't let him lie.
Hey, at least I have my own brand of breakfast cereal. What do you have?
Acidos.
What the fuck? People are gonna eat that and it's gonna burn their mouth.
Okay, but this is Smokey. We gotta end this interview before we get like 2 hours. But this is Smokey. This is Oshujax. Say peace. Say peace, motherfucker. This is our male voice. You say peace.
Oh, we got to?
Yeah, we got to, motherfucker. Say it. It's X-rated. Ain't no curse word.
Like my boy Smokey said, peace out, everybody.
Kiss my ass.
I hope y'all enjoyed this, and if y'all didn't, whatever, we're gonna rise above the hate, never give up, John C. Nation.
Whatever. I'm gonna freaking embrace the hate. Yeah! This is Smokies, episode 6 with Oshujax, aka Josh, and I'm signing out.
See ya.